I don't know what she's doing. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Izzy, aka the Zab Lab. I'm a fibre artist and textile designer. I'm filming this intro post filming the majority of this video because just needed to give you all a heads up. This video is slightly chaotic. It is slightly long, so grab a snack, grab a project if you're a little crafty guy, and get ready to see all the lovely stuff that I've been making in the last few weeks. Hello, crafty people. This is Editor Izzy here. I hope you're all well and having a wonderful and whimsical time. I'm going to give you a very basic overview of what I'm doing here. So I'm sewing together my scrap fabric pieces. I'd laid them out in a semi-gradient to the size I need, and all of the pieces overlap each other slightly, and I sew along that overlap using a zigzag stitch so the stitches are visible on the outside of the final curtain. This also meant I didn't have to iron any seams, so yay me. I'm gradually sewing together larger sections until I've patched all of it together, like you can see here. If you saw my last Fibre Arts vlog, you would know that I have some very ambitious plans to spin yarn to knit a cardigan using some of my naturally dyed fibres, and this is some that I had pre-weighed out using lots of lap waste that I got from World of Wool. I've had to split this into two piles to card it into two bats because I think it was like 70 grams of fibre, so it wouldn't fit on my drum carder, and I'm just carding up some of the naturally dyed fibres to make them nice and fluffy so that it's easier for me to apply in a thin layer on the drum. I also like to split my fibres into layers for how I'm going to put them on the drum carder, and the first layer is always just a woolly base or alpaca or whatever, and then the second layer has some of the nice add-ins like silks, and then the top layer has a much higher concentration of all of the lovely fibres. The wool that I've used from the lap waste bag, I say wool but it might be some other fibres because I don't know what it is. I was slightly disappointed when I got this because it was all natural tones, which is kind of boring, but then I started using them in this bat, and I tell you, these are some of the softest fibres I have ever used, and I think that there's some really luxury fibres, because I know that World of Wool sells baby camel fibre and stuff like that, so very lucky, very happy with this. Oh, look at that. I'm starting to really lean towards more natural tones. Just look at that. It literally glows in the sun. I want to live there. The Turkish spindle I bought at the Great British Fibre Festival is what I'm going to be spinning this on, and yes, I am spinning yarn for a cardigan on a drop spindle. I know it's a bit ambitious, but I'll probably spin some of the other fibres on my wheel as well, but I love spinning on these Turkish spindles because they're so portable. I never use a leader yarn on my Turkish spindles. That's what you see me doing there. I just pre-drafting and spinning a section so that I can tie it on to the stick part and then hook it around the top and then start spinning. Turkish spindles are so mesmerizing to watch while they spin. Like, it's just like a little bug, a little something. I love it. If you love spindle spinning, I really recommend trying out a Turkish spindle if you haven't already, because they are so fun. Another shot of this fibre because I'm obsessed with it, and I know this is going to look so beautiful in a cardigan. Okay, we are back to the curtains now, and I'm just measuring like the final size and drawing an edge along the long edge so I know where to sew the lining onto, and that's just me lining it up, and then I'm pinning it along the line that I drew. So when I pin it on the second side, I have to like lift the fabric slightly and pull the lining towards the line that I drew, because the lining is like much smaller than the area I'm sewing it to, and this will make more sense when you see me turn it inside out, just sewing that with a zigzag stitch. There they are. Yeah, so I turn them inside out, and then there's like an extra bit of fabric where the lining joins the like curtain, so it's like on the inside, if that makes sense. And then I'm just marking up the final length that I need the curtains to be, and drawing a line so I know where the edge needs to be. And I'm just pinning that in the center, and then I press it along the line that I drew with an iron to get a really crisp edge. Checking my final edge again. I pinned those pieces down, but you couldn't see me doing it. Just trimming that excess fabric. I sew it with a zigzag stitch because I'm lazy. And here are the final curtains. Yeah, this isn't really a tutorial, it's just this is what I did. And yeah, there they are, looking fabulous. Hi there. Okay, so today I am trying to finish some of my projects so that I can start new ones. I have woven in the end of this cardigan, so I just need to block it now and then it's done. I made one little pair of wings for my little sprites. I'm going to make the second pair in this yarn for the second guy so I can finish these, and then they're done, and then I can make the little mini ones. I'm going to go outside in the sunshine, maybe the shade if it's too hot, and yeah, I'm just going to do a little crochet and a little sewing. I've got a lot of plans for stuff I want to do this summer, and I'm getting on with it. I'm making a start. So I started cleaning some fleeces the other day, a little bit scary. I'm not sure I cleaned some of them particularly well the first time, so some of it that was still a bit greasy. I've done a second scour, and that's currently drying, so fingers crossed it's not going to be too waxy anymore. Yesterday I was actually carding up and just test spinning some blue textile and some Dorset, white-faced Dorset, I think. Even though it was a little bit greasy, it was actually really nice to spin and work with, and I don't think it's made my wheel super greasy, so I'll show you that today before I block it. Hey, Pumpkin. Oh yeah, I blocked the cardigan that I finally finished weaving in the ends for, so I'll show you guys that on once it's fully dry. I finished the original bug sprites and last night started making a new one. This is the progress on the little mini one. I've done the majority of it. I literally need to sew on some eyes, finish the head and then make the accessories for it. So I'm really happy with the progress I've made on this. So I'll definitely be making quite a few of them. Yeah, today I'm gonna go and get some buttons, find some buttons to use. I might card up some more of the fleece. I'm not 100% sure yet. I would also like to harvest some nettles for me to process because I need to ret them and then I need to extract the fibres from them. So that's going to be quite a lengthy process. So I just need to get the nettles out of the ground because I can store them and I can be getting on with processing them at any point in the future. So yeah. Okay, so when I last spoke, I showed you the body of this little guy. I'll put the pattern on the screen and in the description for you. So this is the first one I've made. It's got a little mushroom cap and a little snail. So cute, so damn cute. I have started the body of a second one with the same yarn. And then I'll have different hair on it and different color accessories. Yeah, I didn't film me making any of this partly just because I couldn't be bothered and because I was watching something on my laptop and yeah, I couldn't be bothered to film. Okay, I also have been working on a project that I realised I haven't spoken about at all on here to you guys, so which way around does this? Let's go this way. Wow. So as you can see by the crosses on here, this is going to be a cross stitch image. I'm just making the background at the moment and I've been cross stitching along the border to make sure I have the correct amount of rows and correct amount on the bottom. I haven't gone all the way across, but I did count it, but I'm just using it as a visual so I know where to sew the stitches as well. So this has sort of been a year-long project. Not really, so last summer when I did my first fibre drop, I did the elementals. So spirit, earth, air, fire and water. There's a series of 5 bats and the original bats that I made, I spun myself as singles and I wanted to do a cross stitch or tapestry crochet pentagram piece with spirals in it. I'll put the image that I'm going to be using. I think it's those little bracelets that people weave or do knots. It's a pattern for one of those. It's a free pattern. I'll put it on the screen and in the description for you to look at. But yeah, so I'm going to cross stitch with that yarn onto this. I've still got quite a few rows left to go. It's ended up being way bigger, way bigger than I thought. But it's going to be a wool tapestry, so I think that's okay. When I block it, I may have to stretch it out this way a bit because when I've done cross stitch onto crochet before, I did it as single crochets and then it was always wider than it was taller. So I thought I'll just do half double crochet so it'll be a bit taller and hopefully it'll be more square. but I have a feeling that it's going to be quite long, so I'm going to have to like block it out, I think, or we'll just have it and it'll be like a weird shape and then the style will look weird, but that's also what I'm working on at the moment. So yeah, I also wanted to talk to you guys about, I don't know whether anyone else experiences this, but I see people online saying that it's really good, it's actually good for you to have like lots of different projects on the go, so you can keep swapping between them, and I do find that, but sometimes when I have so many projects I want to do, and like I started some of them, I haven't started some of them, I need to spin yarn for some of them, I gotta buy yarn for some of them, gotta buy a pattern, I've gotta wait until I've done this. Sometimes I just find it so overwhelming choosing what to work on. And like, especially in the age of social media, like sometimes I feel so guilty that I'm like not making stuff like all the time, because obviously like I have a life, I do other stuff in my day to day, but like I don't know, it's just really hard, and sometimes I have to remind myself like I am actually working on a lot of stuff because I have so many projects that I like keep swapping between, so it feels like I'm not making progress, but like I am. Like I'm not the sort of person to just have one project or like just a few little projects and just like actually sit down and do a chunk on one project. Like I got to do like a little bit here and there, otherwise I just get like bored, and then I get overwhelmed of choice. So I don't know whether that's a me thing. I don't know whether I'm just a little bit chaotic. Who knows? Also, this video is probably going to be really chaotic. I haven't really filmed myself doing all that much this week. I've done quite a lot, so I've washed some fleece. I finished the original bug sprites. Obviously, I've made this new little one and started another one. Been working on this tapestry crochet back. It shouldn't take me that long, it's just half double crochets, but like, can't be bothered. What else have I been doing? Oh yeah, I started this new spin on my new drop spindle. Yeah, I'm just really conflicted because I don't know whether I should card some of the fleece that I washed, or whether I should start doing pony bats, because I want to do a whole video, but that's going to be a whole separate video, so I think I probably shouldn't do that. This is my dilemma. Yeah, I don't know. Also, I'm currently sat next to my dye plants. I'm really hoping they flower this year, but obviously it's getting on a little bit, and I think because I left them inside in like the trays that I sewed them in, and I didn't transfer them like as soon as I should have really. They're not very well established yet, but since I've transferred them and they're outside, some of them are a bit more established, so fingers crossed. I just want to wait until they've got a good root system before I plant them out into their final growing spot, because I've got some pots and I've got an old ceramic kitchen sink that I'm going to use. Yeah, other things that I'm thinking about, because obviously Tour de Fleece is coming up, I've got the 2 braids that I bought that I'm going to spin for that, and then I've also got a fibre pack that I bought from Raya at Dancing Cat Meow, and also some, like a bat that I weighed, like fibres that I weighed out to make a bat with some hand-dyed fibres that Bella and spun gave me when I bought some yarn. So I'm thinking maybe I should card those bats up, and then I'll spin those during Tour de Fleece as well, and then we'll see how much time we've got, because that's quite a lot of fibre. Okay, so basically after contemplating for absolutely ages on what I should do, not knowing what to work on, I've decided I'm going to work towards finishing this elemental tapestry for this video. I think that will make me feel better. It will make me feel happier, because then this project is done, it's dusted, it's out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue crocheting and marking, like doing the crosses up the edge to make sure I know how many rows I need to crochet. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cake up the skeins of yarn that I hand spun for each of the elements, so it's ready, so that as soon as soon as I'm done crocheting, I can just start getting on with the cross stitch, because I think the cross stitch will actually be very, very quick. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, and I feel happier now that I decided, rather than like umming and ahhing and like not being sure. Because with the fleeces, I need to remind myself that I'm gonna use them for my uni projects, so I can be processing some of that much later in summer, like after I've done my fibre drop, and also spinning it once I start uni, because I want to do lots of sampling and trying different methods of carding and spinning. So rather than doing that now, I should be doing like my personal projects that I've literally put off for a year because I went to uni and didn't have time. So that's what we're doing. It's currently square, but I've still got 10 more rows of my cross stitch to get it to the right number. So it's going to be quite rectangular. At the moment it's square, but it's going to be like, and it's going to be an issue because the cross stitch design is a circle with a star in it, and the circle's obviously not going to be a circle. So I'm either going to like stretch it and block it, so make it square, and then cross stitch it, or cross stitch it and then maybe try and felt it, but I don't know whether that's a good idea. I feel like that might ruin it. It's really annoying because I've caked up all the yarn and I want to start cross stitching it. I guess I could always block it after I've cross stitched it. I don't know. Because I've done half double crochets rather than single crochets, I've used so much yarn and it's quite heavy already. It's quite big. But I guess it's okay. Let's talk about this wool for a second, because this is Hebridean organic wool. I got loads of this because my gran used to farm rare breeds of sheep and other animals. So we've got loads of wool, so this is some of that yarn, that's why I'm using it. And the white that I'm going to use on the cross stitch is Portland wool, which was from my gran as well, and that's also a rare sheep breed. So yeah, I feel pretty blessed and honoured to have this yarn. Apparently Hebridean sheep are more in the green zone in terms of like the rarity of them, but Manx Lockton, which my gran also used to have, and we have loads of Manx Lockton. I'll take a photo of it to edit into this, but apparently they're more rare now, they're not as common. That's not the right word for it. I'm sure editor me will work out and put it in on the screen, but you know what I mean. So I might as well talk about this now, but basically, so in my second year at uni, we're doing like a global challenges project. So I'm sort of starting to think about my materials and things like that I want to use. And obviously I bought some fleeces at a fibre festival, and I've got 4 different types of fleece or sheep's wool that I have washed and will then card and spin. So I kind of want to do like a breed study and like talk about rare breeds and like the loss of wildlife and like wildlife preservation and like all that jazz. So yeah, I'll probably be using some of this again in my uni project, which is cool because it's very coarse wool, so unless you're proper hardy, you wouldn't necessarily want to wear this against your skin. I'm not hardy, so it's good for this. Also, I originally thought that I wanted to have this as a wall hanging, but because it's so big, I thought maybe it could be a cushion cover, because it's kind of the right size, and I'm pretty sure I've got a square cushion somewhere that's like about this size. So if I make a back panel, the same amount of stitches and sew it together, maybe it'll be a cushion. So yeah, I'm just going to focus on finishing the rows and then starting the cross stitch, because once I start the cross stitch, I'm going to get really excited about this. And then I'm going to feel good. And then if I make it into a pillow, then it's like a cute little pillow in my room. Okay, bye. Hello, I just wanted to update you on the progress on the cross stitch. As you can see, the star is coming along. It's not as badly distorted as I thought it would be. It's not really circle, but I think the star is going to be like properly in proportion. So I may only stretch it just a little bit when I block it. There are so many ends to weave in. This is taking me a lot longer than I thought. For some reason I thought doing the cross stitch would be quick, but it's not. I've been doubling up the yarn that I've been using for the white just because I think it's a DK weight and it was just looking a bit thin. I wanted it to be like really defined. So yeah, I'm like so close to finishing the white. I just need to finish like the rest of the star, and then there's a spiral in the middle, and then it's adding the color of with my hand spun yarn. I think once I get to that stage, it shouldn't take me too long. I don't know whether I will finish this for this video or not. I guess I could, because what's the point in rushing to get a video out? You know what, I said I'm going to finish it for this video, so that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm just going to give myself the time to make, I need to not pressure myself to make YouTube videos, because I kind of been posting less and less on Instagram just because I hate it so much. I'm just really not enjoying short form content. And I want to be able to like talk about my projects like in more detail, and like as I'm making them and as I'm learning things, as I'm making mistakes, as I'm like fixing my problems. Because I feel like that's, even if no one watches, it's beneficial for me, because it's like a digital diary for myself of things that I've been making. I've been enjoying the process of filming more as well. I am having a break from doing this though, because the Hebridean wool is so scratchy. I've been sat cross stitching with it on my lap, even though I was wearing like trousers on my legs. It was still itching. It's still itching me. I had thought that I would maybe turn this into a pillow cover, but I'm not going to, because I wouldn't be able to sit with it. So it's going to have to be a wall hanging. Also, I was worried about it weighing too much, because I think I used like 3.5 balls, 50-gram balls, just for the black. And that's like, and I'm using quite, because I've doubled up the white, it's quite a lot. And I was worried about it, but some like paintings and canvases and like pictures that you hang on the wall are actually really heavy, so I think it will be okay. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Hello. I've decided that today I want to take a little break from my tapestry cross stitch, and I want to prep some fibre that I might spin for tour de fleece. I've already spun a little bit of yarn today on my drop spindle, but I thought I might as well prepare just to get let's do fibre prep, because I've got my 2 braids that I want to spin for tour de fleece. I also have a, sorry, I'm crouching down so like almost fell over. I have a fibre pack I bought from Raya that I want to blend into a bat, and then also some pre-weighed out like fibre pack with some hand-dyed fibres from Bella at Spun, so I want to blend that into a bat as well. And then I still have 2 whole bags of fibres that I'd weighed out that have some of my naturally dyed fibres in for me to hand spin for a cardigan that I want to knit at some point, so I could prep some of that as well. But I'll just do the fibre pack first. Oh, I actually also have some rollags from my trade with Rowan at, I can't say their username on the screen, that they gave me in their trade that we did. And then I also have some recycled sari silk, based like a rainbow one, from them, so I might blend that into a bat, and then maybe also blend some fibres to go with the rollags that they gave to me, which are some hand-dyed fibres. I will try and remember to take some photos or videos, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna go and do. I decided that I would try and find some fibres from my stash that matched the hand-dyed rollags from Rowan, and I was successful. So the colours I have, peach, this is all merino by the way, this like bright neon pink, light pink, yellow, and then I decided to add this light yellow which was left over from uni, and then I chose light burgundy to go with the recycled sari silk. And then I'm weighing out just like sort of equal amounts of each colour, not really, but I wanted a total weight, including the rollags, to be 30 grams, and then I was going to weigh the other fibres, the recycled sari silk and stuff, as 30 grams as well, and then the plan was to apply them together. Yeah, so I went for this burgundy colour. I don't know why I had like 50 grams of that. I don't know why I only ordered a small amount, but hey ho. I also decided to add this like grey into this. But yeah, I think it looks a little bit odd, but I think it's pretty. This colour combination is, honestly, it's wild. It's so beautiful, so thank you Rowan for coming up with that. And I'm making the rollags on my carding brushes, laying them out in like stripes like the rollags from Rowan are. I did brush them. I didn't really need to. I could have just rolled it straight up, but I wanted to blend them a bit, and then I just used like old chopsticks to roll them into a rollag, and there it is. Okay, so I decided to blend the burgundy and recycled sari silk into a bat, just because I wanted to blend it at least twice so that it was like more mixed up and more like, so the greys were more blended throughout. And yeah, just applying on my drum carder like usual, and then taking it off. Wow, great description. When I put it through the second time, what I'm doing is I'm taking like small sections, and then I'm gonna feed it through the front of the drum carder. I like hardly ever do this, but like it blends it a bit better. And then yeah, that's what I did. I couldn't be bothered to blend it more than twice, so it wasn't as blended as I might have liked, but it was still pretty good, better than just blending it once. And there it is. Kind of muddy looking, but that's the vibe I was going for. This is the fibre layout I did with the fibres that Bella gave me, and I was sort of inspired by this piece of fabric that she had wrapped the stitch markers from my order in, and I decided to go for a lovely gradient. I did it in 2 parts, so it got pink, purple and blue, and then into these turquoisey colours, and I'm honestly so happy with this. I'll probably spin this during Tour de Fleece. I just wanted to film an outro and the final update of the crochet tapestry cross stitch embroidery piece. So I will put some b-roll as I'm talking of some better clips of this because I don't want to hold it up too much. But this is her. This is the finished piece. The reason I don't want to hold it up too much is, as you can see, it's sagging a bit, so it's quite heavy. What I think I'm going to do, because I want to use this as a wall hanging, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of like canvas fabric and I'm going to make a backing for it so that the shape is like reinforced with a piece of rigid fabric. And then I will put it, so I'll attach it to, I've got some bamboo sticks that I'm going to attach it to, and then I'll be able to hang it on the wall, and I'll obviously share that with you guys when I get around to doing that. Partway through cross stitch embroidering this, I realised that I had accidentally lost a stitch like halfway through. So half of the rows are one stitch not wide enough, which is kind of annoying, and I had to like work out how to adjust the pattern slightly so that the shape works. And I mean, I did it because it works. And one of the spirals on the pattern, so the spiral where it's green here, on the original like picture that I was using as a reference, the spiral, this one spiral was the other way around, but all the other spirals face the same way. So I had to like work out how to do this. And I'm not gonna lie, with the spirals, I think only like one of them I like pixel for pixel followed the alpha pattern, because it just looked, the spirals weren't very evenly shaped, and I think I got them pretty even. I mean, the green one looks wrong, but that's because I had to like flip it around and use one of the other sections as a reference, like upside down. So it looks slightly odd compared to the others, but all in all pretty good. But that's everything for you guys, so thank you so much for watching. If you have made it to the end of this video, thank you. This has ended up being quite a long one, but I did a poll on my Instagram asking people what length videos they prefer, and the majority was like over 30 minutes. So yeah, let me know in the comments what your favorite thing was. Is there anything you're working on? I really like hearing from people. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.